Just a real quick one. As I think you should be aware, both Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch and other have, well, let me put it this way. There is a move afoot by some human rights groups to get the United Nations to drop Saudi Arabia from the UN Human Rights Council. In particular, and I believe it's Human Rights Watch, has alleged that the United States could be complicit for providing targeting information to the Saudis in Yemen if the Saudis are found to have committed war crimes or crimes of war. Do you have any comments on this effort to drop Saudi Arabia, whether you think they should be dropped or not? And do you have any comment on potential U.S. complicity for targeting information?
So we have seen those reports, or we're aware, frankly, of this effort to remove Saudi Arabia from the UN Human Rights Council. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council, the United States is obviously resolute in its commitment to strengthen the protection of children through the framework that was created by the Council. And as we've said repeatedly before, we remain concerned about the effects of the conflict in Yemen on the civilians there, and especially on children. And we have worked long and hard to get a peace process up and running. And we continue to urge all sides in the conflict to protect civilians and comply with their obligations under international humanitarian law. Specifically, because we only have observer status on the Human Rights Council, I'd refer you to the UN for more details, and we don't have a vote. With regard to your second question about complicity, I'm not going to speak to that, other than that we work very closely, as I said, to urge all sides to show respect for civilians and to certainly not target civilians, but indeed to protect civilians and comply with international humanitarian law.
Even though you're an observer at the current time and not a member, do you think it's a good idea to boot Saudi Arabia from that august body?
Again, I don't want to weigh in on a process that, again, we're just an observer to, except to say that we want the Human Rights Council to remain an effective body, and we do believe in its mission, and we would hope that all members to the Human Rights Council would respect that mission.
I just want to follow up.
Sure.
You say you're just an observer. I think you're a little more. You're the single biggest payer of the Human Rights Council. You also took part in the election for picking the Human Rights Council, however flawed the democratic method of clean ballots and whatnot. And your voice still carries, I think, a little weight in the world, especially with a number of Western group countries that are on the body. So do you really have no position on whether Saudi Arabia should be removed or not from and Saudi Arabia, last time I checked, was a major U.S. partner, non-NATO ally, I think.
Sure. Well, they are. Look, I'm just what I was trying to. The point I was trying to make to our side is will not be a voting member. We'll obviously remain active as an observer state. And we'll continue to work to make sure that the Council lives up to its mandate. Beyond that, I'm not going to pronounce on whether Saudi Arabia should or should not be a member. Please.
Hardly a ringing endorsement. You are providing assistance to Saudi Arabia in this conflict, are you not? And yet you're not even willing to say that they shouldn't suffer diplomatic repercussions as a result of this very conflict? What is that? Then why are you providing them assistance in this conflict?
Well, again, Brad, we've been very clear about our involvement in Yemen, and that is geared towards, and the reasons for our involvement are support for the GCC, led by, obviously, the Saudis, in combating the threat that it faced on its borders from the Houthis. But in every situation, in every occasion, we have also stressed the fact that all sides in that conflict need to abide by international law and avoid civilian casualties. Now, with respect to this movement, with regard to their position in the Human Rights Council, we're not going to comment on it. Just not. Please.